Welcome to Wellness Quarters, where wellness lives. My name is Gayle Nowak, and I'm your host, Wellness for All expert leader and communication and emotional wellness coach. The Wellness Universe is thrilled to bring you this inspiring interview series with our members as part of our Wellness for All program. We bring experiences like this to you because we believe happy, healthy, and healed humans lead to peace globally. Join us here on the second Tuesday of each month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and the fourth Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for a 15-minute session filled with insightful interviews and practical wellness tips from top professionals in the wellness universe. Whether you're seeking inspiration or actionable advice to enhance your well-being, Wellness Quarters is your go-to destination for support on your journey to a healthier, happier life. This pay what you can donation-based program is supported by generous viewers like you. If you'd like to donate, you can do that now, after we're done, or anytime in the future using the links that I'll post in the chat. And a special thanks to everyone who's already donated. If you'd like to reach out to me about the show, I'll also include my contact details in the chat. And at the end of the show, you'll see a pop-up to leave a rating and review. We're grateful for yours as it helps Wellness Quarters reach more people seeking tools and practices to optimize their well-being. Today, we're speaking with Keri Bentson about the mirror within. Keri is a self-worth coach and speaker who's passionate about helping people reconnect with their innate value. With lived experience of self-doubt and the pervasive feeling of not being enough, Keri now guides others through one of the most overlooked roots of the mental health crisis, a lack of self-worth. She's the creator of The Mirror Within, a powerful practice centered around mirror affirmations. Keri combines heartfelt guidance with science-backed techniques to help others shift their mindset, boost confidence, and embrace the truth that they are already worthy exactly as they are. Welcome, Keri.
Thank you, Gail, for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being with us today. And I'd love if you could start us off by sharing a bit about your own journey with self-worth and what led you to the mirror as a tool for healing and empowerment.
Okay, great question. Basically, my personal journey began after my 30-year marriage ended. And for years, I struggled with self doubt, people pleasing, and just wondering, who am I? After years of, being there for everyone else and all the people pleasing, I just lost sight of my true identity. And negative thoughts and self criticism consumed me. And although I showed compassion towards others, I wasn't really accepting myself. So, this
Mm.
realization pushed me to explore self acceptance and led me to the discovery that true self love can only flourish when we first accept ourselves, imperfect and ever evolving.
Yeah. And that sounds simple. And yet, when you're kind of stuck in that place of either not knowing your worth or struggling with that self-worth, that's a little bit of a transition, right? Like it's maybe easier said than done at first.
Yeah, definitely. It was actually, it wasn't a little, it was a huge, at least for me, a huge transition because I didn't even know where to start,
Mm.
and I just, I, d- it took years of inner work for me to get to where I am today. And it took me going through different methodologies to try for myself to see what worked. And that mirror affirmation was one tool that I used that really helped a lot.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate you calling attention to the fact that there's a lot of tools out there, and some of them will work for us, and some of them won't work for us. And affirmation might be something that will work for those who are tuning in. So let's talk about that a little bit. You describe the mirror within as a practice of speaking empowering words to your reflection. So, can you just share with us a little bit about what that might look like and why that's so powerful?
Sure. So basically, like for me, I just didn't even like looking at myself in the mirror. And especially
Mm,
when your self-worth has been eroded and you don't feel worthy, it's very hard to look in the mirror. So when I started doing affirmations, that's just like kind of one level of it. But to look at yourself in the mirror saying it really took it to a much higher and more deeper level, which was very difficult for me in the beginning. I had trouble just looking into my own eyes and saying those words because, like I wanted to believe them and I didn't. And it just took a lot of practice. And it also took a lot of self compassion. I had to just have grace for myself. And so this is just one tool. I had, many other tools that worked as well, but this one was really transformational for me to be able to finally look at myself and value myself and speak worth and affirmation into my life.
yeah, I really admire, the fact that you stuck with it, and I think that that's something that a lot of people do struggle with, to actually look at yourself in the mirror without judgment, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And it can kind of feel awkward. I remember a colleague and a friend describing a similar practice of where she said that she would look in the mirror and say, I love you to her reflection. And she encouraged me to try that. And it felt weird at first. It really felt, awkward, right?
Yeah.
And yet there was something disarming about that after some trial and error and repetition with it. So knowing that it was at first a little bit challenging for you to even look in the mirror and that you're not alone in that, what would you say to someone who maybe feels resistance to doing this kind of practice?
That's a great question, because when I had difficulty with the same thing, saying "I love you" to myself in the mirror, it got me to think about how much I need and desire and want to hear someone else say they love me.
Mm,
So, it got me thinking like, well, if I want other people to love me, why is it so hard for me to love me? And I had some conversation with family members, like, "What do you love about me?" Like, I really didn't understand.
yeah,
And when they told me, and it's like, "Oh, okay." Sometimes it's not what you think, and, it was just such a very touching moment, and so I started with what they said, what they love about me, and I'm like, "Well, you know what?" I kinda had to, like, let my guard down, like,
yeah,
stop beating myself up, just why can't I just give myself a break? And,
yeah.
I give other people a break and, compassion towards others. And like, why is it so hard for me to do this for me? And it was really a period of time where I just had to allow so much self-compassion and respect for myself. And over time, it got easier. And if I wasn't in front of a mirror, I could do it on my phone. And I'd like to add also, it's very helpful when you record yourself doing that affirmation, and then you can watch it, you're waiting in the doctor's office or something, you could do it in the car.
Mm.
So, it's very empowering to hear your voice saying those affirmations as well.
Yeah, and I love that tip, right? You know, sometimes we create our own obstacles or, well, I'm not at home, I can't do this, and that's a great tip for, when you feel that inspiration, you can do it on your phone, you can listen to your own voice too. I just want to take a moment here and kind of go through some of the comments. Leah says, huge transition into self-acceptance. Jean says, mirror affirmation is a powerful tool and has worked for me. Anna says, thank you for sharing such a vulnerable story, Keri. I was terribly bullied as a child and couldn't even look in the mirror. Yeah, wow. Um, yeah, Jean says, your courage is making it safe for others to do the same. Thank you. And yeah, Jeanette says, I love the idea of recording your affirmations of love and acceptance.
And
It's
not just your
really,
voice, your
yeah,
your tool
your
as well.
face, your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
as you do it more and more, you get used to it and it becomes easier.
Yeah, right, right. Simple but powerful.
Yeah.
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 So let's talk about why that is, right? Because affirmations, I think, are often tied to maybe those softer skills. It's something that we talk about a lot in healing circles and spiritual circles and coaching circles. But you talk about the science behind it as well. So can you walk us through how this kind of self affirmation, maybe not the how, but like why, from maybe a more practical standpoint, why does it impact our emotional state?
Yeah, another great question. Well, science studies show that the MRI scans show that when you do affirmation, it activates the brain region that are associated with self-processing and reward. So think about the reward, like when we compliment someone else, it doesn't only feel good to them, but it feels good for us to make that compliment. And so when we're doing affirmations in the mirror to ourselves, we are kind of giving back that it's like a full circle. We're giving the affirmation and we're receiving it at the same time. So it really it helps with those neural pathways that we're creating in our brain. And what it does, this repetition, it counters the negative self-talk and helps build a more positive self-image over time. That's why it's not like a one and done thing. It just needs to be repeated time and time again, and it does get easier.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because you're not only creating new neural pathways, you're shifting out of maybe some established neural pathways, right?
Yes.
With that inner critic voice,
Yes.
sort of taking up root. Sometimes, gosh, we're sometimes our worst critics.
Yes. Yes, we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about how we can kind of we can begin to start to work this into our daily routine, whether it's, um, you know, it, repeated, like brushing your teeth every day. Exactly, Leah, right? I was just about to say that, right? Like we're in the bathroom in the morning, we're getting ready. It's something
Yeah.
very quick that we can do. You had mentioned the doctor's office or in, on the way somewhere. Um, how any tips for making it sustainable?
Yeah, well, you brought up brushing your teeth in the morning. So I know when I brush my teeth, like I check, give myself a smile and make sure I did a good job, and then I'll say, "Good morning." And, then I just start to say different things, "Oh, you look like you slept well. You look vibrant," and
Mm.
just start complimenting yourself in ways that feel real and believable. You don't wanna say something like if you don't feel beautiful, saying that you're beautiful is just gonna feel, like you're lying to yourself. So you wanna not only focus on beauty, but attributes. So that's really important.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction, right? I think that's something that I noticed when I first learned about the concept of affirmation, and people provide examples of affirmation. And when you're just learning, you might take someone else's example, but then you feel that disconnect, right? And so it
Yeah.
sometimes doesn't have the desired effect of like, yeah, I'm saying this thing, but I actually believe it? So I
Mm.
love that you've made that distinction.
But it's really important that you believe it. Sometimes I even for people who have a lot of trouble with this, I'll suggest neutral affirmation, which are not like, big bold statement. They're just something like, like what I said, like you look like you slept well, you look well rested, or I that outfit looks really nice on you, or something. Just start small, not so bold.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Beautiful. Well, for those who want to learn more about you and your work and connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I actually created a free course. It's 5 modules. It's called Your Worth is Non-Negotiable, and it's 5 modules where we cover things like coping skills, setting boundaries, how to honor yourself and have respect for yourself, shaping your mindset, which is a huge one. So I'll put the link in the chat for so people can download it. Completely free, 5 courses. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. What a generous gift. Exactly. Exactly, Jeanette. Mm. Yeah.
Thank
So, okay, great. That's in so the course is in the chat. And then, do you have a website, or is
Yes.
that on your website?
It's no, it's a separate landing page, but my website, has my socials on it, and things like that. So I'll put that in there as well. And of course, the Wellness Universe. Um, yeah, I'll get that in the chat.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. So while you're putting your Wellness Universe profile in the chat, I want to thank you for sharing time and space and energy with us today. And thanks for everyone who's joining us live. We've got quite the crew today. That's exciting to see. And thank you to those who are catching the replay. We'd love to see you for our next show on Wednesday, August 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with Leah Skirdal for our show on Embody Your Soul Wisdom. Until then, be well, everyone.
Thank you. And you are worthy.
Thank you, Keri.